Christmas, 1979. I'm 19 years old, Edmonton, Alberta. I'm back living at my mom's house after a failed attempt at adult life. My dad died when I was 9. My dog died in March. My mom passed in July. I have no siblings. Christmas is coming. I'm not counting the number of shopping days left. I'm in university, but I don't go to school very often. I much prefer drinking. I usually stop off for a bracer at the downtown watering hole where I work as a cocktail waitress. And well, there goes the day. I have a roommate, Jamie. She recently redecorated my mom's bathroom by painting the lyrics to Bob Marley's "Is This Love That I'm Feeling" all over the walls. Her way of cheering me up. Jamie has a large extended family in Edmonton, and they're going off to the woods for the holidays because Christmas just isn't the same without a good hunting accident. Yelling over Lena Lovett, "I think we're alone now," blasting through the stereo, Jamie says, "You should go to England for Christmas," because that is where all of my only blood relations in the world live. "And that way you can get us the new Joy Division album." Little do I know at that time how time-sensitive Joy Division consumption will be. So, I go along with Jamie's suggestion as the magic marker drips from the wall, just like I've gone along with her decorating ideas. I warn my family that I'm coming. I buy a ticket with 1 week's waitress tips, and just in time for Christmas, I get my bookie by trade, old enough to be my dad, and that is the Freudian point, part-time boyfriend, to drive me to the airport. He complains about a bad bet all the way. "They nailed me to the cross. They crucified me." We arrive at the airport, and he stuffs $100 bills into my purse with point spreads written on them. I don't remember boarding the plane, but I'm pretty sure that I do because I arrive in Amsterdam and I realize that I have no gifts for the family. So I load up on duty-free booze and cigarettes and jingle all the way. I arrive in Manchester and I take the 20-minute ride to my aunt's house, zipping on the gift bottle as I go. I arrive at her door and I ring the shrill doorbell. I can see her orbs through the stained glass. My aunt always speaks with her eyes open. Opening the door, she says, "I didn't even recognize you, Jenny. I thought you were a Chinese lady." Perhaps in reference to these chopstick-like hair accessories I have jutting from my head. My aunt looks like my mom, minus the eye thing. And I can smell that familiar chicken soup coming from the kitchen. But she's not my mum. "It must have cost you a pretty penny, Jenny, to come over here at this time of year. You know, your mother didn't spend all her life saving so that you could go on trips." Her son, my cousin, surfaces. He has multicolored hair and a trickster grin. He gives my 2 years behind the time avec chopstick outfit the once-over and says, "You don't really wear that, do you?" His dad, who always spoke with his eyes closed, died in the January, and there we all mournfully are, standing in the hallway to wonder what comes next. The rest of the evening drunkenly progresses, and we try to fill the absence of our loved ones with chicken soup, duty-free booze, and Joy Division selections that my cool cousin naturally has. I don't remember the rest of the night, but I woke up the next day wearing a garbage bag. The next day, I go to Liverpool to see my dad's side of the family. Unlike the Manchester side that are new to grief and loss, my dad's side of the family have made it their life's work. My grandma was a medium, and hauntings were just, a regular family thing. I arrive at the Liverpool station, where my dad must have left on weekends to go and visit my mom in Manchester when they were courting. My cousin Keith is there. My cousin Keith has the gait and the charm of a guy who's unmistakably a rocker. Keith was one of 3 bands that were taken over to Hamburg in the late 50s by King Size Taylor. The bands were the Beatles, Jerry and the Pacemakers, and my cousin's band, the Dominoes. Unlike the Beatles, however, my cousin is now delivering mail. He's recently divorced wife number 2. His first wife was a go-go dancer. And there's a child involved in the second marriage, so yeah. We end up at my uncle and aunt's house in Liverpool over the customary roast. This is a fine art that the women in my family have perfected. My uncle and aunt share stories about my mom and dad. My uncle says, "Did you know that your dad had no teeth when he met your mum?" I half expect my parents to walk through the door, teeth intact, of course, but they don't. And after the dishes are done, I realize that they never will, and there's a piercing through my nostalgic bubble. At the end of the night, Keith and I end up drunkenly in his mom's front parlor. In this room, he used to give Sunday concerts with his brother. In this room, I met him when I was 4 years old, and he had a heart full of hope, pompadour hair, and drainpipe slacks. He looks at me over the bottle of scotch. "What are you going to do for Christmas, Jenny?" "This," I say. "Drinking, you mean?" "No. I mean, I have all these happy memories, Keith, and I think that if I just follow them around, they'll come back." He looks me in the eye as best as he can. "They won't. I guarantee it." Keith stands. He twists the cap on the bottle of scotch and says, "It's up to us." And he walks out the front door. The next day, as I'm packing up to go back to Manchester, Keith apparently packs in all his bad habits. He becomes a better father to his daughter, and he starts gigging again. Through the train window, I can see the land of my ghosts speeding by me. The memories that they have left with me are my Christmas gift from them. I remember Keith's words. "It's up to us." And I know, even through my hangover, that what he says is true. My memories are not mine to hoard and pine over. They were given to me so that I can become somebody else's happy Christmas memory. I arrive back at my aunt's house. I can't be her husband. And she can't be my mum. But maybe we can be there for each other. Under the Christmas tree, I can see that my cousin has left a brand new unopened Joy Division album. As I stand next to my aunt, chopping fruit for the Christmas trifle, she looks to me, wide-eyed, of course, and says, "You're not so useless after all, are you, Jenny?" Merry Christmas.